World of Warcraft has been rumored to be coming to console for quite a while now. Then Xbox had the Activision Blizzard purchase, and it was thought, oh, World of Warcraft is definitely coming to console. However, a developer over at World of Warcraft has put the kibosh on that and said, no, it's not. I don't believe him, though. I really don't. Let's talk about it. Like, subscribe. Let's jump into it right now, everybody. That's right. Here we go. Here's a news story from IGN. World of Warcraft game director dismisses rumors of eventual console port. This is Hazzikostas is his name. WoW game director Ion Hazzikostas is dismissing the hopes, says IGN. Here's what they said. IGN says, with the MMO getting improved controller support recently and now a fully customizable HUD that players can move around however they like, the time seems ripe to make the jump to consoles. But Hazzikostas doesn't seem keen. Here's what he says, quote, "Nah, I think World of Warcraft is a game designed from the ground up for the PC," he says. "I think we've just been looking at the ways in which add-ons have at times felt increasingly required, or like the first thing you do when someone comes to the game for the first time is tell them, hey, go download this add-on pack and move this stuff around, and we want to do better for our players." So he's saying, hey, we're just trying to improve the PC experience for players. This doesn't mean or indicate that we are moving to console. And I think that's a fair point to make. And I think he's being honest there. Let me be clear. I don't think he's lying. Where I think this is incorrect is I think it's inevitable that World of Warcraft is coming to console. It just makes sense. Keep in mind now, the Activision Blizzard purchase isn't even finalized. There are some road bumps that Microsoft has to get over. There are some stupid politicians that are trying to prevent it. So, politics. But once that goes through, I do think it's inevitable that World of Warcraft comes to Game Pass. It comes to Game Pass for PC, and it comes to the console. We've got other MMOs. Almost every other MMO that competes with World of Warcraft is also on console, from Final Fantasy to ESO. So I don't know why World of Warcraft would want to be the only game MMO out there that doesn't have a console port. I just don't think it makes sense. Indeed, let's go over to Games Rant. Now, this is an article from earlier this year, from January, actually, by Brandon Paul Dick over at Game Rant, and he said, now's the perfect time to bring World of Warcraft to consoles. I completely agree with him, and I think this is the reasoning behind, I think it's inevitable. I really do, that World of Warcraft comes to console. Here's what he says. He says, while it's fully possible that Microsoft could leave World of Warcraft largely untouched following the acquisition, bold ideas like bringing World of Warcraft to Xbox Game Pass could completely revitalize the game. If that or something similar were to happen, a move like bringing the franchise to the Xbox Series X and S suddenly doesn't seem too far-fetched. In fact, with World of Warcraft's current state of affairs, now is the perfect time to make this decisive action. And now what he's talking about is it's really waning in the popularity front. I mean, Final Fantasy has really, with all the Blizzard, not criticism, what controversy is the word I'm looking for. With all the Blizzard controversy out there, with everything that happened, plus you have add-ons and expansions that just weren't popular, players from World of Warcraft really started to move over to a Final Fantasy or even an ESO. But Final Fantasy really took the wind out of World of Warcraft sales over the last six to 12 months for sure. And that's what he's saying. He's saying that moving it over to console or having a console port would help revitalize the game. He says, luckily with this latest move by Microsoft, World of Warcraft now has an ace up its sleeve with a move to console. And the best part is that it has worked for major MMORPGs before. He says, looking at the PlayStation 5 release of Final Fantasy XIV, it offers a fairly compelling argument for World of Warcraft to come to consoles. While Steam charts don't provide a figure for that entire player base, they give a general sense of the population in the game. In 2020, Final Fantasy XIV peaked each month at around 25,000 players. Since the PlayStation 5 version was released in May 2021, Final Fantasy XIV has averaged that monthly peak of 25,000 players every single day and hit a peak of nearly 100,000 players in December of 2021. Recently, Square Enix had to shut down sales of the games because it was too popular. Now, I think he's being a little bit disingenuous there, or he's leaving out one factor there, and that is all of the controversy surrounding World of Warcraft and all of the streamers and big name players like Asmongold saying, "Hey, I'm stepping away from the game," and they all jumped into Final Fantasy. I think that probably has more to do with the peak jumping on a daily basis and hitting top numbers overall, much more than PlayStation 5. However, having Final Fantasy 14 on PlayStation 5 definitely doesn't hurt those numbers and doesn't hurt that player base for sure. I think that is clear. However, I do think you're kind of leaving out part of the story there in that every major World of Warcraft streamer on the planet was streaming Final Fantasy 14 for the past six to 12 months. So there was this huge jump and move over to Final Fantasy 14. Indeed, in the same way that there was a huge jump and move to Lost Ark when it first came out as well. This article closes and says, a move to consoles would also have an unprecedented effect on the player base. While World of Warcraft Classic and the retail games expansions do manage to bring in new players, they are perhaps even more effective at capturing returning players. Whereas an Xbox Series XS release could reach an entirely new base of console-only players to the game, flooding World of Warcraft with those that would be experiencing the MMORPG for the first time. Do we say MMORPG anymore? I feel like that's a dated term, but I could be wrong. In a sense, then, a console release might be the best option for Microsoft and Activision Blizzard to turn the clock back and restore World of Warcraft to its glory days. I agree, and I think that's why it's inevitable. I think it just makes too much sense it just makes too much sense to have World of Warcraft on a console. I think with the acquisition, it's the perfect opportunity, and I think it's inevitable that it happens. I think you're going to hopefully see World of Warcraft refocus. I think hopefully with Microsoft owning Blizzard, you're going to see Blizzard refocus and get back to what Blizzard does best, and that is making quality top tier games that they've really missed out on recently, and they've really declined on. Hopefully they do get back to that. So to recap, I do think that this article over at IGN, and I'm not saying that the game director is lying here. I think he's correct. I think that the reason that they're making these changes with controller support and being able to move your HUD around is specific for PC players. Having said that, I don't think that means that World of Warcraft is not coming to console. I actually think it's inevitable, and I agree with this article on some of the reasons why. I think it only helps your game, and I think it only helps Game Pass. Imagine World of Warcraft and ESO on Game Pass. I mean, you've got that's the top two. I feel like I'm missing an MMO. What MMO am I missing on Game Pass? Anyways, your top two MMOs right there, or two of your top three MMOs are on Game Pass. That's huge. It's huge for Microsoft. It's huge for Xbox, and it just gives people another reason to buy a console and to play, or at the very least, if you're not going to buy a console, to buy Game Pass. So there you go. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm right? Do you guys think I'm wrong? Do you think World of Warcraft is coming, or do you think no? I doubt that that's ever going to happen. Let me know in the comments below. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We do all Xbox all the time, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.